Hi, I'm Joe Connolly with two accomplished women here who are our guests today who I think represent one of the most significant trends in small business currently. And that is people who have good jobs at big companies going into the peak and the prime of their career, leaving to go start a business of their own. We're seeing this increasingly, and these businesses are often doing very well because their founders know what they're doing. So please meet Stacy Royal and Cathy Decker, who have started an agency serving a fun industry, the travel and resort business, right?
Yes.
So why'd you leave these big jobs and go on your own?
Well, Cathy and I had worked together for about 10 years at another agency, a very well-respected one, very large within the travel space. And I think it got to a point where we were getting a little too comfortable. And I think when you're too comfortable at a job, you have to start thinking, is it me? Is it them? And we really took the time and we sat down and we decided it was time to make a change.
How long? How long is this process?
Yes. I want to tell people it was many, many years, but once we started having the conversations, our business was open within 6 months.
You know, we represent two very different generations. And for me, I was about to approach a very large birthday. We're just going to just leave it like that. And I had always toyed with the idea of starting a business. And when I began to work with Stacy, she possessed everything I would ever want in a partner. I thought she was bright and savvy, and we like to say that we're very scrappy. We do very well with very small, so we can make little budgets go a long way. And I thought, I trusted her, and as this birthday loomed in the background, when I had approached her with the idea, literally, she said, okay, let's do it. Let's do it, yeah.
I come from a small business background. My parents are small business owners, and they did that a little later in life. So, you know, I don't think there was fear. I think there was an understanding of the hard work that was ahead, but also the promise of what could be.
How did you quickly get some nice clients? I mean, Sandals, cruise lines, American Express. How did you land? Did you, I don't want to say bring them, steal them, some might say?
Well, I have to say that so our relationship with Sandals Resorts International, who we love, it's a family-owned business. The owner, it has been the same family that has owned the business for the 3 decades that the company has existed. And so I have a personal relationship with the owner. He's very entrepreneurial. And so when we were making the plans to leave, I of course let them know that we were leaving, and he wanted to come.
And I believe his words were, just go. And we were very fortunate in that. We recognize that not everyone gets to start a small business with a client like Sandals.
But what comes up over and over in these talks we have is some personal human relationship in another industry, not exactly the same, but there's some tie or connection usually that business owners leverage or have to get started. Because this is a big calling card you have right off the bat, Sandals.
It's an incredible opportunity that we've been able to use, and certainly because we started with Sandals, other companies have seen us. But to your point with relationships, relationships matter. As a young person, when you're building your career, I don't think that you recognize that the people you meet are growing along with you. So as you get to a certain point in your career, they're there too. And if you are nurturing these opportunities, they're more than just an opportunity to get a piece of business. They're an opportunity to learn, to grow, to have entree to groups and to people that you might not have before. So I think that, so for example, Ellen Bettridge, who I'll talk about, who is the president of Uniworld, a fantastic luxury river cruise company. She was our client at American Express.
Years and years ago.
Years ago.
Right.
And we followed her career as she has followed ours.
Yes.
And I would say 3 years ago, I happened to be seated next to her at a conference. Complete coincidence. And we hadn't seen each other in a couple years, but had kept in touch. And we let her know, of course, of our move and what we had been doing. And she was actually just about to take on this new role as president of Uniworld, which was a huge promotion for her as well. And she said, let's keep in touch. Let's talk about 2 months when I'm into the role. And sure enough, that's one of our clients now. So, you know, sometimes it is certainly about those relationships and keeping them at the front of your book, so to speak, and just nurturing them. It doesn't always have to mean that that relationship is going to immediately bring in new business. But years later down the line, you don't know what can happen.
I would also say to that I think for people when they're building their businesses is to be generous with your time as well. I think that we make a point, I do some adjunct work at CUNY downtown at the Borough of Manhattan Community College in their tourism program. I think the more that you also put yourself out there to be generous with what you know and the relationships that you have, that comes back. It does. It just does.
It really does. When you go to college groups especially, and I have found sometimes that I'll say something that I think is really important and interesting, and I get kind of blank looks.
Yeah.
And it's really a great lesson. Oh, I guess I didn't explain the significance of this,
Yes.
really. It really keeps you on your toes. So you're all set? You're not looking for any new clients then? You have all these big clients? And that was a good laugh.
We're always looking. We're always looking.
How do you find them, and or do they find you? How do you grow the business?
Both.
Both, absolutely both. I would say probably at least 50% of our business are from personal relationships that we've cultivated throughout our careers from different clients and different places that we've been. And I would say, you know, we're starting to get smarter about the places that we're networking, both in conferences and also places that are slightly outside of specifically the travel sphere as we grow our business.
You just said two big things. Let's go into both of those. Smarter about where you network and going into parallel adjacent markets. Tell me more about this.
So
please.
I think, you know, realistically, we have a small team and there are 2 of us. So we need to be smart about our time. And I think when we first started, we thought, well, we have to be at every single conference that is out there that has the word travel in it. And we went to many of them. And we found some were better than others. And some we felt like we were going because we had to. And we realized it's a disservice to ourselves and to our clients to be spending time in places that are not successful for us.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Where are some new places that you're fishing where they're not the obvious ones?
Well, I think when you think of travel, I think people think hotels most often, sometimes destinations. And I think for us, it's really about lifestyle more than anything. So we need to be thinking about spa, about restaurants. We actually have a new client, Royal Champagne, which is on a vineyard in France that we're going to be starting with next month, which we're really excited about. So I think, you know, yes, our background is in travel and hospitality, but I think the umbrella to that really can be more of a lifestyle account.
And I would say, too, that some of our clients have helped us with that story. So one of our clients is, although we do these tremendous brands, we do smaller clients that we just are passionate about, that we love. So Bowling Green, Kentucky. And they're
How'd they get in there?
Well, I'm going to tell you, we've done some work for the state of Kentucky, and through those relationships, Bowling Green happened to be looking for someone. But this has been a tremendous partnership that we absolutely adore. And what you don't know about Bowling Green is it's the only place in the world where the Corvette is made, and it's also home to Mammoth Cave National Park. So caves and cars is what this place is about. But it's also about down-home, really family fun. And I think one of the things there, when Stacy talks about the tentacles, we've worked with lots of small businesses there. So Cheney's, which is this adorable family farm that makes delicious ice cream, we've been able to use their story to tell our story. Bree, the Pie Queen of Bowling Green, she has an incredible story. In fact, we're going to be doing an event with her to talk about the food scene in Bowling Green here in New York, and she's going to be making pies. So, you know, it's really about finding these individual businesses that can help build a narrative to your story, too, and I think that that's really interesting.
You remind me of a point here that you are quoted as making. When you talk about the Pie Queen of Bowling Green
Yes.
coming to New York
Yes.
to sell us pies, that is so smart because there's such a fine line between foolish and impactful.
Yes.
And you say here, publicity stunts may have their place, but the best PR efforts are those that are long-term, deliberate strategies that produce impactful results.
Yes.
And the Pie Queen of Bowling Green seems to be fun, but memorable.
not only memorable, but think about what Bree will be doing. I think that more and more people want to get close to an authentic, real experience. And here we have a great local business owner who is actually going to be talking about makers and creators in Bowling Green. And that's really the story that we want to tell. So when we talk about stunts, I think a lot of times PR people have a terrible reputation for just doing silly things, but more and more we're being called on the carpet to deliver real metrics, real value. And we want to be part of a marketing team that can turn that sort of fun stunt or whatever it happens to be into something that's meaningful for our clients.
You're a keyword machine. You're a human keyword machine.
I'm really old.
I couldn't even keep track of all of them that you just used. The hooks, you know, authentic. It's like all these words that come to mind from Bowling Green, Kentucky. And you spin it and spin it and spin it off in different ways. It reminds me of what some of the most successful people on Instagram are telling us, and that is use narrow hashtags. You talked about French Vineyard. You know, promoted by French Vineyard, not France.
Right.
So where do you go from here? Just keep going, right? Where you're going? Just keep. How do you grow the business from here? What are your plans?
So I think for us, in addition to looking for new business, it's also about cultivating a team that we can be really proud of and that we feel can represent our business well. I think as a small business, you know, I think that's a challenge for some people to attract the type of talent that we feel represents the brand that we've created here. So when we first started the business, that was something that we really thought about how to attract the type of talent that some of the other big firms are.
Are you doing that?
We really feel like we are.
How so?
So one of the things that we thought about when we first started was that we really wanted to have in our new business was the idea of flexibility. Especially, you know, young people coming up now, there's an expectation that that will exist. So the first thing that we did was actually create a really, really great cloud computer and telephone system, which allows us to work anywhere on the planet and at any time. Because the truth is we're traveling quite a bit.
And our team travels
And our team travels. And that's a great perk. But we also want them to feel flexibility in their own lives. So if that means that at 3 o'clock they want to take a yoga class, but then at 4 o'clock they have a conference call, we want to be able to give them the tools to be able to do that.
You mean that, I can tell.
Oh,
yeah, we really do.
It's paying off, right?
Yeah.
This is no problem.
No, you know, we are competing against the large agencies for the best talent. And so we knew that to be successful, to grow, when you ask us what we're doing to grow, we're really looking at the team that we're building to help get us there. And in order to do that, you know, a lot of people have said terrible things about millennials.
And I am a millennial.
And I've made millennials. So when I think about that, we want to give people an opportunity to do their best work in a way that they work best and to respect them. And I think that flexibility, along with a benefit package that's as robust, which was really very, very important to us when we were attracting these folks, is the way to do it. We respect the work that we do. We want them to be able to feel that they're contributing because they do.
How many employees and part-timers and freelancers do you have now?
There's a team of seven right now,
Perfect, nice.
which is a great number. And you know, we're about to reach our 4-year anniversary. And Cathy and I started it. It was just us and one other team member who's actually still with us right now and is our senior manager. And we started at our kitchen table.
Yeah.
Or mine, to be more
kitchen
exact.
Table. That's right. Your kitchen table.
And you know, we've grown quite a bit in the past couple of years with great new clients, and we're really excited.
And look, there are folks whose talent we love, but we can't afford to keep them on staff full time. So folks whose talent we need to bring in, we buy them as we need them. We have a great event planner for us, but he's based in Miami. We can't keep him on staff, but when we need him, we bring him in.
And so
Is there a big market of people you can hire who are expensive but who are willing to work part-time or remotely?
Yes, I would say particularly if we need additional writing, there's some terrific writing talent available. And in terms of creative, it's very expensive to have a full-service creative team. And so we buy their services as we need them.
And why are they available? Because they're on their own too, as a business of their own?
Many of them are.
Yeah.
And we work very well with other teams. So there are a couple agencies that complement our services with whom we partner on projects.
Sorry, last question.
Sure.
Airbnb, Home Away, Are they having a big impact on your clients or your industry or not your niche or what?
I will say one thing about the share community. I think that they've brought more attention to travel, and I think anytime you bring more attention to your topic, it gives everyone a better opportunity to speak on it. So I have no problem with them.
And we're also, taking some of what we've learned from the shared community in our own business. Our offices are actually with WeWork, so the idea of shared economy, we're all for it.
We're all for it. And I stayed in Airbnb in Florence last month, so all good.
Yeah.
You two are great. Good luck.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.
It's
Thank
so
you
nice
very
meeting
much.
you.
Thank you.